Wow. Greetings, my people. All my Sierra Leonean friends and family. Una greetings to una. Why am I doing this? Wow. Okay. Basically, I'm sharing this. I did share this coming live like this because when I know me usually when I go live, I go live mostly for just do me storytelling, but I choose for go this live because sometimes we say enough is enough, and I choose for go this live because primarily we begin for address we the Sierra Leonean man them make we address we self, so hence I choose for go live like this because I think that I think we all get a major responsibility for how we country get for run or how the country they run right now and how the country get for run in the future. So and for those of una ways on saying no, but serious another rape case again. I'm not going to say serious, but just that it's another rape again, and every rape matter incredibly serious. And I think that men, particularly in Sierra Leone, men will get for really address waiting they go on, how we think about we women, how we behave to we women, and so on. And I feel absolutely incensed about this. Really, really feel angry to a very deep level about this, because I think that we men, as men, we don't lose the essence of what it mean for get mama and what mama mean to we, some of we. But I think certain things in the world don't miss. Where the cause for make the kind of rape where they happen down at Sierra Leone, they happen. And I know for say this now a very uncomfortable topic maybe for some of we man them, even me where they talk now, so it's not a very uncomfortable topic for some man them for listen to. But I really think that as men, we have to address this matter, man to man, just men. What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do to stop other men raping women and raping young girls? What are we going to do? Really, what are we going to do? Because I think that if this continue in our society, we literally have no future. Literally, we have no future. Now, okay, this is not the first time rape has happened. It probably will not be the last. I hope I can say this will be the last, but it will not be the last. And it's not only in Sierra Leone, it's all over the world. When I went to India, I found the same problem there. When I went when I've been to South America, many places around the world where I've been, I find the same thing. Here in England, where I am, find the same issue as well. But for now, just for this moment, I just want to look at Sierra Leone, just Sierra Leone. And let me address how we men, as man, how do we see our women? Because how we see our women also go determine how we go protect we women them, and how we go make sure the horrible, absolutely horrible situation will just don't happen na Freetown, not happen again. And there's more and more cases like this will not even come to light. I just think that one of the things and way I just think as man them we get for look at is just how we talk about we woman them. Just how would they talk about we woman them? And here I know they also for address how the woman they talk about we. No, I just they talk now, just how we man them, how they see we woman and how they talk about them. Because me and you two, man to man, when we meet, if we begin for talk about woman them, but what that baby they want catch this way, or that baby want do this, or that baby want do this way. I really think that we get for begin for analyze this very, very seriously, because the way we would talk about the women, it somehow they affect how we they treat the woman them. You know, man go say, you know, other people are teacher with a pack and slap today. What makes we think, what it make we think for say, we'll beat the woman, that way the woman go respect we. And I'm not even going now for say, power, if the what thing they make me think to say, if the woman say in no one sex today, power will for force and for say make it get sex. Now religion say so, now culture say so, waiting say so. If the woman say in no one sex, waiting make we man will for force and power for say if forget sex with we. This totally bugged my mind, because I did say this as well. Look, I come up from a polygamous family, and I know how anybody will be know me daddy, where they grew up. You know, I see how me daddy, the beat in wealth that we've been getting, including me mama. It was not the most, it's not the most comforting feeling for any small picking. I see that, and I know how horrible it make me feel a small picking when I grow up for Yeri, me mama they cry, for Yeri me step mama they cry because me daddy, you know, they perfect. And it's traumatic. For me, it was incredibly traumatic. Now, I know we'll talk now, it can for say, when, say for, they rape a woman. Me get a daughter. I get a daughter. And the thought for say somebody go rape me daughter, just that thought sometimes they make cold, me body they catch cold. Because I know for say if I see that person they will do that, I the quiz in neck with me and sometimes I go strangle and say I kill him. Now, we men, us men, when we lead on with the woman them, we wife them or girlfriend or whichever, say them born picking for we, How do we respect we women? How we the treat we woman them for make sure say if any other man, he say anything derogatory about another woman, almost per we man then go tin up for defend that woman day because another guy talk something nasty about a woman. Because sometimes this, you know, let's face it, as I say, man to man, we talk the way we talk. Yeah, but that be the body na koro, but this one a matter. We get all this kind of talk the way they talk. But I really think that maybe we need for Sidom as man them and begin for address why make we talk like this? And when we talk like this, you know, which kind of position that puts we women, because whether we like it or not, we get to understand all that in a woman energy. And I will come to that part, that point later on. What is the feminine energy? I will come for explain, for maybe throw a little bit light on that. God. You know, I'm saying this because I'm not going to tell you a lie. I am so incensed. Now, let me come to look at Sierra Leone. This rape that's just happened with this 5-year-old girl. She died. And I can't, I don't know what it feels like as a father, any man who does that, as a father, a man does that to my child, maybe they'll have to lock me up in prison as well for life and throw the key away. Because I will tear that man hand and limb apart. But when I look at Sierra Leonean us men, how incensed are we about such injustice, about such barbarity? Really, how do we treat this? Now, when I sit back and I remember just not so long ago, there was a woman, and I don't know if it's 70-something-year-old woman or 80-year-old woman, an elderly woman anyway, in Banff. This woman was raped. And I remember after this woman was raped, not a single single word from any of our men of authority in Sierra Leone. It was crazy, because I remember watching, listening, following this news and thinking, well, what is our president going to say about this? Because you, President Bio, you declared a state of emergency for rape of Sierra Leone. You're the first president in the whole world that declared a state of emergency for rape. You are the first. So you go down in the Guinness Book of Record as the man who cares for women in the whole world. You went down and you announced, and that woman was raped. Not a word from you, our father of the nation. And together with you, none of the ministers and all those other people said a word. Why? Does not that woman who was raped deserve justice? Did she not deserve to be living in a society that cares for her? I mean, you and I know in the whole damn country, we don't have no therapists. None that will take care of women like this. And it was so disheartening when I started thinking, well, if the president is not saying anything, then what chance do we have? Because now, let's think about it now. When these women, these girls, and many of them, when they're raped, they go to the police. People say, go to the police. That is those who go to the police. When they go to the police, who do they meet? They meet another male, another man standing right behind that counter. How the frigging do these women explain to these men what they have experienced? How do these women explain to these men what they've experienced? If they have been raped by some man, and you and I know that all throughout the years, all of this is shoved under the carpet so that nobody can talk about it. It is shame. You bring shame to the family. And the disgusting thing is that the men are kept aside and kind of like, protected. And these women are put to shame just because they've been raped. As I'm sitting here talking to you right now, I'll be honest with you, I am really incensed about this, because I don't care what it is, as men, we think we are, we've got muscles, we've got this and that and the other. I cannot begin to tell you that me as a father, any man, you do that to my child, they're going to have to lock me up in prison. And, questions are, I'm asking myself questions. Is it cultural? If it is cultural, what kind of mad culture is that? Then it has to be wiped out. It has to be taken out if it's cultural. Wherever it is, we have to uproot it and throw it away. If it is cultural, because I'm saying that because I'm somebody who loves culture. I see African culture as wonderful and all this stuff. I really do. But if it is this idea that we treat women like piece of shit, like piece of dirt, that we will treat women as if they're nothing, and we cannot see the honor in our mothers, in our women, in our girls, if we cannot see it, and we cannot as men hold each other accountable, literally hold each other accountable. Because I can tell you, when I remember, growing up, traditionally, when if a man, you beat a woman once, this is my childhood days, you beat a woman one time, they warn you, next time you do it, others will come and beat the shit out of you and then take the woman away from you. And you have to go back to remarry that woman to bring her back to your house. And in fact, most likely, no other woman would marry you because you're seen as a man who abuses women. But for some reason, men have got to this position of where they just think they can beat a woman and treat a woman any way they like. Look, this is not going to work, and I'll explain the reason why very, very soon. But first, I just want to go through the whole thing. Just go through this whole madness that is happening. I don't know. I know some people will say castrate the man, beat him, kill him. I know, and even myself here, I'm so incensed. But I don't know whether that is really the answer, because I'm killing the person or whatever, it might be, might not be. And there's some people who are literally sick in the head, mentally disturbed in terms of how they see women, sexually, mentally disturbed, and so on. There are people like those. But on the whole, I want us men to look at how the culture we have as men in terms of how we interact with women, and whether it is in Sierra Leone or any other African country, anybody who might be listening to this. But it's important we address this. And now more than ever, really now more than ever, because there are many of our women who are suffering silently. Wow. How are we going to deal with this, guys? I don't know. I mean, how are we going to deal with this, guys? I'm talking to us men who would listen to this, who might pay attention to this. How are we going to deal with this? We have to. This is not about whether we have 10 girlfriends or marry more than what. It's not even about that. It's just about how do we treat our women? How do we talk to them? How do we respect them? What are we going to do? Because for decades, pedophilia is, indeed, as I say, pedophilia is such a crazy thing. I know when as a kid growing up, even though I didn't understand many of these things before, you understand? But I would hear, oh, this man don't give in stepdaughter belly. And as I'm talking to you right now, I know of stories, and I know of a specific story where a stepfather, is going to rape his stepdaughter, doing everything so that he could get in her pants to rape her, even while the girl's mother is in the house. It is insane. We just cannot carry on like this. I mean, I'm so pissed off right now. I'm using words like this, but this is really, and I think this is this is how we should get, because we should be holding each other accountable, guys. Guys, I don't know if you heard me there, but I'm just saying because a call came in, but we should be holding each other accountable. It is tough enough. Guys, I want you to think about this, us men, right? Let's think about this, right? Only the woman puts her life on the line to give birth to life. Wow. Think about that. Only the woman puts her life on that. Somebody will say to me, well, men go to war. Bollocks. Men go to war for what? Is it to bring life? No, it's just to take another life. That's it. But the women, they put their life on the line to bring life to this world. Not one man, not one male, me here, I don't have a freaking idea of the pain a woman goes through to bring life to this world. Wow. I don't understand because and what bothers me more, which is just that it's the silence of the leadership in Sierra Leone, the silence of the leadership in Africa. It's insane. We cannot tolerate this. And when the people said, they want to go out to demonstrate for this, what I heard is that, whether true or not, but what I heard is that our government is saying in Sierra Leone that people should not go out to demonstrate. How the friggin' could not people go out to demonstrate? Oh, I can understand why. I can understand why they must not go out to demonstrate. Why? Because those of you in government as well, even now, those of you in government, yes, you yourself, you maim and you kill people. Nobody should talk about it. Nobody should talk about it. So when people are suffering, you still want to do propaganda and nobody should talk about it. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of sickness is this? President Bio, I hope you listen to this message. I really hope you do. Because I'm not going to talk now of your wife. Fatima, you said hands off our girls. Fatima, you said it. Hands off our girls. So what are you going to do about this? What are we going to put together? But tonight, not tonight, this talk here, it's not about addressing the women. It's about addressing us, the men. And President Bio, you are the top man in Sierra Leone. So I'm taking it to you. What are we going to do socially, economically, politically, culturally? What the frigging are we going to do about this? Because what that means for me is that when my daughter goes to Sierra Leone, she is not safe. Because what it means is that if anything goes wrong, a man goes and rapes my daughter, what it means, I have no way of seeking justice, no way of achieving justice if my daughter goes there. But I'm not just talking about my daughter here. I'm talking about the many other people who have daughters and many other girls. And I am sure that many of you men out here, you know what I'm talking about. You men, just like me, must have heard when other men are talking about, which thing they're doing here or how they, come on, guys, let's be really honest. Let's be really honest with ourselves. But where do we draw the line to say we can have our banter? But where do we draw the line to say, no. This is nice about making sure we respect our women. I mean, is it any surprise that does it hit you, for example, when you watch the videos, our music videos, and I'll be honest with this, even as an artist as myself, when I watch these music videos with with the women being shown out, all the time is they're showing their half naked stuff, they're showing that. Come on, sometimes I think, well, what are we really doing? If this is how we're showing our mothers, our future mothers, this is how we're showing them, where do we go? Now, all of us as men, we're all guilty one way or the other. I don't care whether you're an imam or whether you're a pastor. All of us are guilty of one way or the other tolerating stuff that degrades our women. All of us. Well, my question is, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line in terms of how we respect our women and we say no to rape and we say no to rape? Gosh, I want to encourage our men right now. I want every man that is listening to this, Sierra Leonean man or African man, I don't care whichever man you are, just hashtag no to rape. Just hashtag it. Let's make it a hashtag. If they would not allow people to go out in Sierra Leone in the street to demonstrate about it against this diabolical, this evil, wicked kind of act, at least let us do it on social media, because I don't really believe that petition is just the only thing. We can petition all we like, but I really think that we've got to just put our foot down as men and say, no, no matter what, but just we cannot take rape, and that our government act. And we as individuals hold each other responsible in how we treat our women. But I also think that we don't understand who women are. I think we really don't. And we've lost that culture of, understanding who the women are. Because, when we were growing up, younger, and we had all the cultural societies, men go through and you are taught what the feminine means, what the feminine energy means. And I think we've missed what the feminine energy means. And many of us don't study at all what is the feminine energy. I've just been privileged to go through my life and learn a few things here, and I'm still learning. But I can guarantee you, my dear brothers and sisters, when you understand what the feminine energy is, when we say masculine, feminine, when we understand what the feminine energy is, you will not mess about with it. Trust me, you'll not mess about with it. Let me just put it simply like this, because this is a really big topic, but we really got to put it, I want to put it as simple as this. What is the feminine energy? I want you to imagine bath pan, a big bowl, and all of us are contained in this bowl. Every one of us are contained in this bowl. If you take a nail, any one of us, you take a nail and you start banging on that bowl, And every one of us start taking nail and we're banging on this bowl. Eventually, the bowl has holes in it. And as the bowl has holes in it, let me ask then, how secure do you think we will be while we're in that bowl? Because the more of us that keep putting holes in that bowl, it's not going to be long before every single one of us literally fall through. Just in a nutshell, that is what the feminine energy is. Miles Monroe puts it in a very wonderful way when he says the women are incubators. They multiply. Everything you give to the woman, she multiplies. Everything you give to the woman, she multiplies. So you give her a penny, she multiplies it. You give her a house, she'll give you a home. You give her a seed, inside her, she multiplies and gives you a child. If we are taught, men, if we are taught this, and there's much more, I don't want to expand on this too much. There's a lot more involved in this. But if us men, if we are taught this from very young age to understand what the woman energy is, what the feminine energy is, I think to say we go take time out with we'll take suru and be careful how they handle with women. We go honor them a lot more. I don't know, I'm just putting this out, but asking the question, men, waiting we get for do. What should we be doing so that we can protect our women, our girls? My times when I go to Sierra Leone and I see the vulnerable position that our girls are in. And I ask the leadership of Sierra Leone, hands off our girls, hands off our girls, hands off our girls. But my God, all you got to do is go to some of the hospitals. Go to some of these girls' schools. And you see the condition in which these girls are going to school in. You see the hospital like cottage where women are supposed to be giving birth. Go there and then you'll ask yourself, what is the hands of our girls then? Because when you see the condition in which the women give birth in Sierra Leone, in some of these hospitals, you feel sick. And you see how some of the women that are there or nurses, you see how they treat these women and tell them, you know, body abo push bo. What I'm saying is that from all of these things, it means we will not understand the severity, the heaviness of rape and how it messes up the mind of our women. In other words, how it messes up the very foundation on top of which we stand. The very foundation on top of which we stand. Come on, you guys tell me. Then curse you daddy or then curse you mommy. Which one will you vex for? You get upset because they insult your mother. Why is everybody in Sierra Leone going berserk about Adebayo? Because Adebayo insults the curse mommy curse. So everybody they go absolutely crazy. And in fact, that in itself is an indictment to the sickening nature of Sierra Leone. Maybe Africa. But it just shows the mindset, how sick we've gone. Because we only wake up because somebody cuss mommy cuss about the country. What does that tell us? It tells us that we say we're just totally insensitive. We insensitive. We not get compassion for each other, and worse of it, we not get compassion for the woman, and more so the girl picking them. We can't build a society like this. The potential where the woman then get, the resourcefulness where the woman then get. When are we going to begin to draw all of this so that we become so that we build a strong nation? Oh my days. Men, I'm just saying that all of us men, we really get for address each other on how we get for move forward, for build with women, for protect them, make them feel that they could be around us and feel safe, that we as men can. Sorry, I'm just gonna hold it there because on one hand I'm very upset, on the other hand I just feel like, what are we going to do? President Bio, what are we going to do? All you leaders in politics, social welfare in Sierra Leone, what are we going to do? We have to do something. And I think, as Michael Jackson says, first, man in the mirror. Myself, I question myself. When have I disrespected women? When have I said something derogatory about a woman in Sierra Leone? And so all of these things we have to look at. It's a fact. We have to look at, how do we support our women? How do we support them? How are we going to be in a position where we can see our women and respect them just for who they are? Because we can talk all our foolishness, we can talk all our flirting, we can do all of these things. But when it comes to rape, nah. We got to draw the line. And we have to make sure none of this kind of thing is tolerated in our society. Not in Britain, not in Africa, not anywhere. It's just not accepted. It's just not accepted. But we, the men, we are the one who have this physical power, this physical strength that strain the woman and put the woman down, and we rape the woman. What are we going to do about it? And I just want to call, Sierra Leonean men, come on, let's put a hashtag. Let's put a hashtag. I would like to see every Sierra Leonean man or any man of any substance put your picture up and write it there. I put your name, stand against rape. Because if we cannot go, if our government that says it cares for us cannot allow that our people go out in the street to demonstrate, then at least let us do it via social media. Every man. And I'm going to put my picture, and I'm going to put the hashtag there, USIFU JALLOH, cow footprints against rape. I stand against rape. I stand to protect our women. Come on, let's just do something, guys, so we can just make kind of wave, because I'm sure our vibration can make a change. God knows the amount of women who are struggling, suffering from the emotion, from this trauma of rape. How many children that have been born out of rape? And that trauma, that vibration is affecting our society. And there's many things that are affecting our society. But this is one of them. Guys, are we going to do something to change this? It's really upsetting. I can't tell you this. Really, really upsetting. I just really hope that, that we do something about this. I don't know. Will we be able to stop rape altogether? I pray we do. But my God, let us hit back. Just us men, let's just stand up and just say no. Because it's us. Guys, it's us men. Let me just tin up and just say no. Just hold we bottle for a while. Because the traditional values that we had before, where, as a man you go through, and you go through the circumcision rites that you go through, which most people don't understand. Those were all means of self-control, controlling yourself, so that you appreciate what that energy of sex is, so that you go through that rites of passage. Today we don't have none of this in Sierra Leone, because we say we're all civilized. We don't have none of these things. Well, of course, there's the fight now against the Bondo society as well, which are another big fight as well happening there. But we just got to understand, what is it that about our culture that made sure that in the villages, women walked around bare-breasted and so on, but hardly did we hear about any rape. Was it there? I don't know, but hardly did we hear about this thing, because the communities we live, everybody knew each other, and we held each other responsible. Today, nobody hold anybody responsible. Wow. So what are we going to do? What are we going to really do, guys? That is my question. And as I say, for me, let's put the hashtag out there to say we men. Put your name, put your picture, and show that you actually stand to support and protect your women, and you stand against rape. Put your picture, hashtag it, put it out on Facebook. Put it out everywhere. Let us be incensed about this, man. Let us really stand up for this so that we can hold each other accountable. Secondly, if you see a man, or you with your friend or whatever, and they're talking derogatory stuff about a woman or a girl or something like that, pull them up. Tell them, no, bruh, not so for talk, bruh. No, not talk about that girl, this so. Especially when it comes to sexual decision for talk all kind of derogatory stuff. No, I'll be the first to pull him up. No, let's stop this kind of talk. Wow. Because if we don't stop this, my brothers, it could be your daughter. It could be your daughter. It could be your mother. It could be your wife. Fact. Now, when there's war and like stuff, women get raped. And that's common. It's not accepted, but it's common. It's all over the whole place. It is common. But in so-called peacetime, when you have this kind of situation happening, no, man. No, man. It's not accepted. It's not the done thing. So, guys, what are we going to do? Put this hashtag. Begin to check your conversation with your friends. What we say to each other about women. Fact. Because how would I feel, you know, if I know somebody's calling my daughter, telling, but that bitch, but that baby, the arbo, which are the thing, you know. Honestly, no. I'm saying no. These are the things we got to begin to change. If there's repentance to be done, then let us begin to pay repentance. Let us make offering to our women for the sacrifices that they've made to give us birth. Let us make an offering to them. At least to say we'll protect their integrity, guys. Starting from you, President Bio, Your Excellency. Starting from you, all of you men. Let's just start from there. Just for the sacrifices that the women have made to give birth, to put their life on the line for us. Let us just honor them. Low pull Sarah, low give them that offering day by saying, we will stand to protect them. We will make sure, say, while we get with conversations, they already talk with sweet talk, man and woman. Let us at least respect each other and just say, no, man, we can't be talking in this kind of way about another woman like this. Let's just have some kind of respect, man. Because this is, my phone just keeps cutting off. But this is exactly why we need to we got to do something, because if we don't, this is going to carry on, and it could be, like I said, you know, I know the father of this wonderful child, beautiful girl, in his wildest imagination would never have thought that his daughter would have been raped and then killed, murdered. That old woman at Bumf never would have imagined. And I'm sure many other girls and many other men like you and me would not have imagined that their daughter or their wife or their sister or their cousin would have been raped. But it's happening. So unless us men, we stand up from now, we really stand up and say, this is not happening no more. And we protect our women. I couldn't care how much lekuman that we all lekuman. And we all will lekuman, all of us, guys, that is so. But in our lecking woman, in our say we lekuman, in our womanizing, that's when we should even pay more respect to our women. Because God, they tolerate shit from us. But that's when we should really respect them and honor them more. Because you and I know, guys, you and I know, low talk and trade, we not know how much shit we women and they tolerate from we. Guys, we not know that. You know they tolerate so much shit from us. But what are we going to do as offering to protect them? One of them, I suggest, is that we just begin to check each other up. But Brian, no, we talk that carry day about this girl, but no, boy, not fear, but left and so. It's true. I hope our government does the right thing, whether it's in legislation and so on. I hope our government does the right thing. But in this, we're tearing apart the very fabric. The thread that holds the whole fabric together is what we are tearing apart in tolerating rape. I want you to hear me. The very fabric that holds our whole society together is exactly what we are pulling and tearing apart in tolerating rape. And when we continue to do that, there will be no cloth left. Believe me, there will be no cloth left. Everything will be torn apart. Like I said, the bowl, we are all in it. That bowl is the feminine. That bowl is the woman. She holds us all together. We put a lot of holes in that bath pan. Eventually, it will collapse. And when our women collapse, African society is finished. Society in the world is finished. Let's face it. We say Mother Earth, right? Let me go deep a little bit. We say Mother Earth. Now think about it. Who's been ruling this earth? Men. Men, we have been ruling this earth. And there's one thing we have done is rape and pillage this earth. And especially so, this Western white civilization that has now come in, that has the foggiest idea of what it means to maintain and hold this earth together. And I'll dare even go further and say, even the Arab ones, they're all young. They don't know nothing. And they exploit. That's the word they use. Exploit. That's what they do. No. Preserve. Maintain. Take care of Mother Earth. The same way we have treated the earth is exactly the same way we're treating our women. Raping them. And we don't even care. And it's us men. Let's face it. It is us men. And today we talk of pollution. Today we talk of this, we talk of that. Then we're talking of sustainability and all this kind of stuff. Well, when you bring it down to the individual, the women in our society, when we begin to treat them like shit, when we're not showing them respect and we treat them in all the horrible ways, including rape, this is what's going to happen to us. We will break down. Our society will break down. And we will have sick people walking in the streets. We will have children born, and when they grow up, their mental state is not sober. Why? Because us men have not been standing up to treat our women the way we're supposed to be treating them. I just really hope that we wake up soon, because the earth is one thing, Mother Earth is one thing. You know, in the South America, they say Pachamama, Mother Earth. If you go to India, they say the great Kali, female goddess. In West Africa, we say Mami Wata, Mother Water. And even that, they've made it so scary. Mami Wata, oh, don't afraid. No, it's Mother Water. Water keeps you safe. It's feminine. Before you born, now water they broke first before you born. As you born, when you come out, your mama give you bobby, then feed you straight away. Mother water, Mami water. Do you understand me? Guys, we have to really understand this. But this is not taught anymore. It's not taught to the young people to understand the value of Mami water, of Mother water. And I couldn't care whether you're Christian or Muslim. If you understand this that I'm telling you here, if you truly get to take this on board, you will never, never, never disrespect a woman. And I couldn't care whatever it is, but you would never disrespect a woman. If we understand this principle, these are deep African principles, spiritual principles as well. Mother. But we have grown up in a situation where everything is a he. He. Let's face it, this very he has messed up the world, messed up society. This he. And the girl has lost her life. And God knows how many more around the world who have been raped, abused. And my personally, I've met many girls in situations like this. Men, guys, agbadem, bradem, when are we going to stop it? President Bio, this is a time for you not to shut up, but time for you to act as a president. Because you know what's also painful is that in vulnerable times like this, with COVID, our girls are even more vulnerable. I swear to anything, they're so much more vulnerable now because food to eat, you know, no jobs, no money, nothing. They're so much more vulnerable. Do we men have that in our hearts to treat women even with that respect? If you don't have money to give to her, don't abuse her, leave her alone. If you can help her, help her. Anyway, I'm just incensed, and I just want to just say, look, let's just put the hashtag out there as men. Let us support our women. Let us just stand up against rape and say cannot be tolerated. Mrs. Bio, this is the time to stand up. You know, we all shout, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, absolutely right. And Black Lives starts at home in Africa. That's where Black Lives start. I think it should matter. I really think it should matter. Guys, I'm done. God bless you all. I just pray. I know some people wanted to come on to chat with me and talk about the matter. I'm really sorry I couldn't bring anybody on. But anyway, if I have time or space, anybody wants to talk about it, that's fine. You can come on, you can request, and if I see your request, then I'll bring you on if you want to express anything about it. Wow. Let's look at this thing. Let's look at this thing. Just to understand the power of women. And guys, if we understand the power of the woman, and I'm not saying this like but I'll say this as plain. Let's take our dear Vicky Remoy. People have insulted Vicky Remoy. People have cursed her. People have said this. They don't like her. People have said all this kind of shit against Vicky Remoy. But who is the one who's right there? Boom, bang, boom, right up front there. Raising funds, doing everything, risking her life, shedding tears. And she's a mother too. But she's right there fighting, raising so much money in such a short space of time, raising the amount of money she raised. Bravely going out to support. If you understand that nature of a woman that Vicky Remoy is demonstrating, then you'll begin to get a glimpse of how precious our women are. With all the nonsense we do to our women, with all the craziness, the cheating, the this, the that, all the stuff that we do to our women, they still have such tremendous power, tremendous tolerance to still make our nation great. And I really mean that. Because there's that one woman, and I can tell you many other women who are demonstrating powerful dedication like this to make our country go forward with compassion. Not many men have such compassion. Not many men have such compassion as the one that is being shown by Vicky Remoy, by people like Faith Okrafo, who are doing amazing work. I know if people, Kadiema Din, for example, who are doing, there's so many women like this, powerful, who are doing stuff to raise our nation. And if us men, we cannot check ourselves and we cannot respect ourselves enough to uphold our women with honor, what's left? What's left then? What's left? I think this should be the last straw that break Again, I hate to say this damn phrase like this, but that break the female camel's back. I like to say just break the camel's back. You know, Africa is our mother. We say that all the time, Mama Africa. And in times like this, we need to be incensed. And, you know, I'll call on our government over and over. I'll call on you, President Bio. I'll call on you, Fatima. You girl, you guys got to wake up. You know, this is no politics. This is time to get every hands on deck. What do we do to change the narrative on all levels? How we teach boys to begin to honor women. From the young age, how we teach boys. Because these boys are watching their dads, beating up their mothers, abusing their mothers, gets women pregnant, and it's the girls who will have to leave school, and the boys will still go to school, and the girls are left there. It is the girls who, they have a child, and they've got to look after that child. Sometimes the man just go away. You know what I'm talking about. Lots of single women. Mothers, rather. Single mothers. When are we going to change this? When are we going to change it? With all due respect, when are we going to change it so that we can begin to show respect for our women? Wow. You know, the most popular song all over Africa, one of the two most popular songs all over Africa, Sweet Mother, I no go forget you. For the suffer way you suffer for me. When I dey cry, my mother go carry me. When I dey hungry, my mother go run up and down. When I dey sleep, my mother, you know, if I sick, my mother, Lord. He says, when I dey sick, my mother go cry, cry, cry. She go say, instead when I go die, make she die, oh. She go pray God, God help me, my pikin, no. Wow. Guys, any men out there want to join me on this, you want to take the hashtag, join me. Let us stand up to say no to rape. And I'm not begging you guys, man. I'm just saying, let's do it. It's for our own salvation. I'm done. Thank you for those who joined, those who commented. Thank you so much. But we got to really, let's teach our boys what the woman truly means. Let's teach our boys how to honor our women. It's important. It's part of African culture, strong African culture. It is. Any boy that has gone through Poro, or if you've gone through any of these secret societies, Bangbani and so on, you know what I'm talking about. If you've gone through Betty, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you need to go and check it up again. The feminine energy. We cannot fuck about with the feminine energy. Sorry, I'm using a word like this, but this is what we're doing. We cannot fuck about with the feminine energy. When Mother Nature turns its rage, it does not look in the eye of those who are crying. Mother Nature will get back at us. The great thing is that mothers have such compassion. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm done. If it's a culture, we've got to root this culture out. I don't care whether it is in Christianity or it's in Islam or it's just in African traditional culture. If it's there to say the women should be treated like anyway like this, we've got to change it. It is wrong. I'll say it plain. I said, somebody who likes culture, it is one culture that is wrong. We have to throw it out of the window. Because I would not want to see my daughter being beaten up and disrespected by any man. Definitely not. When a man tried that with my younger sister, I almost killed him in Gambia. Just is totally unacceptable. I went through it. I saw my own child growing up to see my dad and his wives, and I saw how that happened. I remember the trauma, and I said, no more. So what will it take for us men, for any of you men? What will it take for you to say never again for another woman to be abused? What will it take? We have our palavas, I accept that. We all have our differences, I accept that. But what will it take for you, a man, to say, never will I go and disrespect a woman, or never will I even tolerate another man to be disrespecting a woman, when I will not stand up and say, "Bo bra, no, bo. No, bo bra. No beat that woman. No way, bra. No, bra, not talk this kind bad way about that woman day. No, bra, no can cause make us like this kind. No, bra. When are we going to stand up? I hope it's soon. Otherwise, we'll have no society, trust me. All right, folks. God bless you all. Have a lovely day. But I pray for peace. I pray for peace for the daddy of that girl. I pray for strength for all the people affected with rape. All the women affected with rape, because there's so many. Just pray for them peace to get over this. You know? Okay. Cheers.